In any field, especially video or filmmaking work, you need to find an edge, a way to stand out in a world full of visual storytellers. Creatives have access to powerful tools and techniques that create stunning images and footage. You only need to maximize your use of them to improve your work. If you've ever shot photos or videos with your camera, the chances are pretty high that you were surprised at the great quality of those images or that footage. What you might not know, though, is that you may not even be touching on the best quality that your camera is capable of. Most DSLR and mirrorless cameras record in much the same way that they record JPEG files. They apply sharpening, color and tone corrections, then compress the file down to a more manageable size. Those acts of compression and correction degrade the image. However, we can negate some of those issues to get a much purer video file by using log and recording to an external recorder. Hang on to the end of this video because I'm going to explain everything you need to know about log profiles and how to use them to improve your photography, video production, and filmmaking work. Hi, I'm Jim Costa. I'm a full-time working photographer, video producer, video editor, and technology pro. I want to get going on the topic quickly, but do stick around till the end of this video because I'll tell you about some freebies and training courses I offer to improve your photography, video production, and filmmaking work, and to help grow your business through something known as earned media exposure, which is basically through free advertising. If you like what you see, smash that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video each and every Wednesday. Remember, I welcome your comments, questions, and more on all of my videos. Let me get started by explaining what log profiles are. A log profile, or also known as a logarithmic profile, is a shooting profile or gamma curve found on some digital video cameras that gives a wide dynamic and tonal range, allowing more latitude to apply color and style choices. The resulting image appears washed out, requiring color grading in post-production, but retains shadow and highlight detail that would otherwise be lost if a regular linear profile had been used that clips shadow and highlight detail. There are some misconceptions about log profiles, the most common of which is that they are the same as raw image files. This is not true. Log is more like a very flat color style applied to the video file. Like a JPEG, the file is still compressed, it still has data baked into it. However, that data will be a very flat tone curve and have low saturation added to the colors. This leads to a very flat, almost raw-like file that requires work in post-production but gives more leeway for manipulation. So what are the advantages of log? Like JPEG files, compressed footage from our cameras has little leeway with which to work. When we shoot log, because we have flattened out the color saturation and tone curves, we are able to push our files somewhat further in post-production. This is especially useful when grading footage or attempting to match footage to other cameras. The other main advantage of shooting log is that it does not increase file sizes. Most modern DSLR and mirrorless cameras will shoot to a .mov or .mp4 file in either H.264 or H.265. These are highly compressed video files designed for delivery rather than editing. Shooting log does not change the amount of information that is written to the card, just the type of information. Those cameras mainly shoot in 8-bit 420 color, meaning less information is used to create the video file, yielding smaller file sizes. This is, however, at the cost of image quality. Some more expensive cameras, however, have the ability to send a much higher quality video signal to be recorded outside of the camera. This is where the external recorder is needed. Just so you know, the advantages of log are much greater control over your exposure and color, and there's no need for much faster, more expensive memory cards. Shooting in a log profile provides you with more aesthetic flexibility when editing your footage. It gives you access to greater dynamic range, allowing you to retain more details in your highlights highlights and your shadows. You'll also be able to color an image to your personal taste and even mimic big budget cinematic looks in your video and film work. Your standard image profile doesn't have this flexibility. It's similar to the limitations you face editing a low-resolution JPEG file versus a RAW image file. It just doesn't have the information to allow you to make the edits you envision. And given the high level of content available, this is something you can't ignore. Even if it's something you don't always use, shooting in a log profile is in the need-to-know category for video work moving forward. Why? It makes your footage look better, and better helps you to get paid more. So what is an external recorder, like I mentioned? Most external recorders are actually two distinct things. They are a larger, often much brighter exterior monitor plus a high-speed video and audio recording device. Depending upon which device you buy, they will record video onto an ultra-high-speed memory card. Alternatively, they may record to a high-speed SSD drive. External recorders work by taking a much higher quality clean video feed direct from the camera via an HDMI port, or sometimes they might use an SDI output. This is then saved to the recorder's drive in a much less compressed video codec than the H.264 or H.265 codecs I mentioned earlier. The most common codec used is Apple's ProRes, which is more of an editing codec than a delivery one and contains much more information. So what are the advantages of using an external recorder? The biggest advantage is that rather than having to compress all the color information into a 420 8-bit file, an external recorder can record 10-bit 422 files. To give this a little perspective, an 8-bit file can only capture 256 shades of either red, green, or blue. A 10-bit file multiplies that to 1024 shades per channel, a massive increase in the color information, which yields better images or footage. As well as this, recording to a much less compressed codec, such as ProRes, gives much higher quality video files. There will be less artifacting, especially in the areas of movement, more dynamic range, and when combined with log, the end files will be much easier to color grade and edit in post-production. Of course, another major advantage is the fact that you have a brighter, larger, higher quality monitor with which to compose your video. Many cameras will allow you to output aids such as histograms to the monitor as well, or adding compositional grid overlays, which can help you when you're shooting. Lastly, many still cameras are handicapped by an EU rule restricting them to a maximum of 30 minutes of video recording time in one shot. This is to differentiate between video and still cameras for tax purposes. Using an external recorder can circumnavigate this restriction. Of course, higher quality means much bigger file sizes, so you will need to make sure you have both space and enough computing power to edit those files. In summary, then, the advantages of external recorders are recording to 10-bit for higher color fidelity, recording in less compressed codecs such as ProRes, a larger, brighter monitor to compose with, and bypassing the 30-minute record restriction that cameras have had. So which external recorder should you buy? There is no getting around the fact that external recorders are expensive. The cheaper ones you may see are restricted to HD 1080p rather than Ultra HD 4K. The vast majority do not come with things you might expect them to. For example, most are not supplied with batteries, cables, or even memory cards or SSD drives in a few cases. These are optional yet vital extras that you need to work the equipment. This in turn makes purchasing a decent external recorder quite an expensive proposition. The big names in recorders are Atmos and Blackmagic, but there are others available as well, and I'm not here to promote any of them, so I'm going to let you decide which ones you want to get on your own. If you are serious about shooting video, then shooting in log should be your first consideration. Most mid to high-end 4K capable still cameras have an option to shoot log in camera, and there are models available for under $2,000 USD with more to come online. If you are looking to get the ultimate cinematic quality out of your camera, then an external recorder is the way to go for now. The quality of video you will get will be outstanding, but it will come at a considerable cost. If you'd like to learn how to shoot in log, check out the companion video I did on log recording. I'll link to that in the video description below so you can watch it after watching this video and you can learn even more. If this is making sense to you, but I've got it in the comments section below. My question of the day is, have you ever shot using a log profile? Leave a comment below and let us know. If you found the information in this video useful, I'd like to hear about it from you. If you liked it and want to see more videos like this, then follow my YouTube channel, Jim Costa Films. If you think what you saw was great, please do like it. If you have an opinion, feel free to comment below. If you know someone who could benefit from the information that I provided, please share the video. You can connect with me and my company, Jim Costa Films, on social media and online, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and the web by searching for Jim Costa Films. In fact, I currently have over 4,600 videos on my YouTube channel, Jim Costa Films, so feel free to check out many of my other videos for great tips and suggestions. Thank you for sticking around this long. I mentioned at the beginning about some freebies and training. As a professional video producer and photographer, I've created an absolutely free cheat sheet for you on all the best camera settings to shoot with your DSLR, mirrorless, or video camera that will show you the settings that will allow your photos, and particularly your videos, to shine and stand out from the competition. The link to get that cheat sheet is just below in the video description. Best of all, my cheat sheet specializes in shooting video with any type of camera. In it, you'll find all the info you need on important video techniques, such as white balance, color temperature, frame rates, and more. Now, I'm also affiliated with Christina Nicholson, a fellow media veteran like myself who helps businesses and entrepreneurs reach tons of their ideal customers or clients through the power of media without spending big bucks on advertising. I've worked with Christina and used her advice and training successfully, so I know from first-hand experience that it works great. The program Christina and I are now offering is called the Media Mentoring Program, and it will help you to take advantage of mainstream media so you can stand out from the competition, because that's not something everyone has access to. Best of all, unlike paid ads and sponsorships, you can gain lots of exposure and credibility to become the go-to brand everyone talks about and wants to do business with, without spending a fortune on advertising, because the program is geared to get you free advertising. I'll link to those cheat sheets and training courses in the description below as well. There's links to get more information as well. You can help to support my channel by purchasing my training courses, requesting my free downloads, or by hiring me to shoot and edit for you. Remember, I've also done other videos on filmmaking and video production, and I'll link to those in the description below. Finally, if you follow me for a while now, you know that I have a private community of photographers, videographers, and filmmakers, just like you, on Facebook, where I share other pro tips and tricks. It's called Video Producers and Content Creators. I love new members who want to share their work, learn from others, and also help others based on their own skills and experiences. The group is private and only for people in the filmmaking, video production, and photography industries that I personally work in myself. It's not a public group like my business Facebook page that I talked about earlier. That's public and anyone can see that because I want them to find me and hire me to work for them. You'll find a link to that group in the description below as well, so feel free to join it where you can learn even more.